Hi everyone, welcome on board to Helper.tv, where you get the reliable news that is tailored for you, and of course where you can actually comment and interact. Recently, an event occurred in Aso-Villa, the seat of power in Nigeria, and this event created so much frenzy in Aso-Villa as gunshots were fired. And aside this, a lot of people in Nigeria were concerned about this, and it even confirmed to a lot of people that are already talking about this lack of leadership. They said this simply points to the fact that have been raised, and a lot of things have been said that Buhari does not exist. Buhari is dead, an impostor is there from Sudan, and many theory that have been put out there. This was much this kind of a confirmation to people, and it has kind of cleared the doubt off from people's mind. Now, gunshots were fired in Aso Rock, and this is as a result of a young man called Tunde. He is not a Yoruba man. It's just a kind of alias that he got. This man is a private secretary to Buhari, and Aisha Buhari asked this young man to self-isolate, having left the villa. But this man refused. He refused. He said he wasn't going to do any of that. And this brought about the security attached to Aisha Buhari firing shots at this young man as he refused. He wanted to come into the villa, into the presidential quarters, and contacting the president or any of the families of the president might result to all of them dying. I think after Bakari died and some other people died, Aisha Buhari is afraid, and she is careful for her life, careful to make sure that nothing comes to her children. Afterwards, Buhari woke up, or Jubril woke up, or the Cabals woke up, or something. They woke up, and I don't know what happened. It is even said that Daura, the relative to Buhari, cried. Went to meet Buhari, and he cried at the corridor, so Buhari would see him, and with the tears, the crocodile tears. Or was he afraid? Maybe he was afraid. He cried, and Buhari saw the tears, and of course the thing worked, the magic, and Buhari woke up immediately, and he sacked 40, or is it redeployed 40 security officials or whoever is connected to that incident. They were sacked. Afterwards, I think Aisha Buhari decided to regain a power back again, as this is a fight between the Cabals and Aisha Buhari. Afterwards, she decided to do and press her own button to make sure that all those people that acted in support of her are returned back. Now, following the clearance, the aide-de-camp ADC to the First Lady Aisha Buhari has been restored to his post. The ADC Usman Shugaba, who is a police officer, was absolved of any complicity by an investigative panel which was drawn from the Security Council. Also, other security aides to the First Lady have been returned to the presidential villa. But a nurse on the private jet from Abuja to Lagos and Kano, which caused misunderstanding at the villa, has tested positive. So at the end of the day, Aisha Buhari is correct. She's correct when she said, man, go self-isolate. We don't need you here. The federal government has, however, directed that all staff at the private wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja be tested for COVID-19. You see, but when they buried Abba Kyari, they cared less. If we don't even know if it's Abba Kyari that was buried. When things started happening in several parts of Nigeria, it cared less. There have been issues in the last 2 weeks over minor family misunderstanding between the First Lady and an aide to the president over compliance with COVID-19 guidelines. The family challenge led to the shooting at the villa and the withdrawal and detention of the First Lady ADC and other security details. The president also directed that the incident be investigated. It was learned that a team comprising Security Council members probed the case last Monday. As at Saturday, the panel had cleared the ADC. A top source who spoke in confidence said the First Lady has also got all her staffs back because the investigative panel discovered that the ADC did not fire a shot in the villa. So who fired the shot? It was discovered that the ADC was not even at the scene of the incident, and he was not harmed on the said day. The panel was also able to establish that there was no armed policemen at that moment. There were only issues about compliance with COVID-19 guidelines. So who lied? Did that young man lie that he was shot at? Who heard the sounds of the gunshot? What really happened was that a presidential aide traveled to Lagos on Monday in a private jet, and when he returned last Thursday, the First Lady asked him to isolate for 14 days. The whole intent of the First Lady was to protect President Muhammadu Buhari and his household from COVID-19 infection. It was not really a personal matter per se. But since the outbreak of COVID-19, the First Lady has always asked those on palliative mission for our pet project, the Future Assured program, to self-isolate for 14 days upon return from any trip. It was, however, learned that a female hostess on the shuttles to Lagos, Abuja, Kano with the private jet used by the presidential aide tested positive. Like I told you initially, the air hostess is receiving treatment, and the government has asked other staff to self-isolate and in line with the guidelines. The senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, last Sunday said the presidency wishes to acknowledge concerns expressed by several members of the public regarding the recent incident amongst the occupants of the people living in Aso-Rock, which created some issues and led to the arrest of some staff by the police. This is to assure all and everyone that the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Buhari, is not and was not at any time in any form of danger arising either from deadly infections or the reported incident by security personnel, which is currently under investigation. This particular incident happened outside the main residence of the president. Armed guards and other security personnel assigned to the state house received the necessary training of especially in weapons handling, and whenever they come short, their relevant agencies have their rules and regulations to immediately address them. Having authorized the proper investigation to be carried out into this unfortunate incident by the police, the president has acted in compliance with the rule of law that a minor occurrence is being used by some critics to justify attacks on the government and the person of President Muhammadu Buhari. In this particular instance, the president says the law should be allowed to take its due course. Well, that's what this man, of course, what you expect him to say. He's being paid to speak in support of his boss. Nigeria is a confused nation. The gun fired itself. Don't you know? That's what someone say. What an high-power investigative committee findings. Can you imagine maybe something that exchanged hands? That is what someone said. The shot fired the gun. No, the gun fired the shot. Just let it be. Matter settled. Well, we weren't there, so there wasn't any video. I don't know if the young man lied and went to meet his uncle or relative and said, look, they tried to shoot at me. They fired gunshots. And you cannot record the sound of a gunshot. People will be asked, did you hear a gunshot? Saying no. But the people that are in support of the young man will say, yes, we heard gunshot. Either a gun was fired or a gun wasn't fired. The reality of it is that the drama that has unfolded all this while, and the lack of care, concern by this administration when citizens of the countries are attacked either by the Fulani herdsmen or some other issues here and there. They care less. So why should we be so much bothered about what happens in Aso-Rock anyway? What's the meaning of that? You know, the gun fired itself, shots weren't fired. The man wasn't there. Who was there? And all of that. He wasn't with even his gun and all of that. He was only asked to self-isolate. He lied. You see, this is all the drama that, very terrible thing. So if this is happening in Aso-Rock, what do you expect? Worse will happen in the society amongst the citizen. Buhari does not care about anybody. But somehow, with the tears of his relative, he quickly acted and sacked 40 people. If he could sack 40 people, how come is it that Buhari has not sacked those people that are not functioning? Rather, he prefers bringing in people from the north and filling them up in all positions. Now, I'm not being tribal here, but I wonder how you can fulfill, how can you fulfill, your mandate if you bring people only from your region? You know what will happen. Nigeria is a country where where tribalism is the major thing that's happening aside religion. So why would you put people from your own region? Yet the job is not done. Now, Of course, we know there are people from the southeast that are also part of the military. They are on the top. And yes, we still have the same problem because corruption, people don't differentiate when they want to be corrupt. They don't care if the money is coming from an Hausa man, as long as the money exchange hands. This is an animal farm where some animals are more equal than others. Then who fired the shot? That's the question. Is it Sabiu Yusuf, or have they decided to keep Sabiu Yusuf, the sacred cow, just a young man that works with Buhari? Whatever that is, it seems from all indications, Aisha Buhari has once again regained a position in Aso-Villa. I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.